this brand new must-watch show, if I may add. If you have any queries on what course to study, where, or need help as you apply for your dream job, well, you've come to the right place. It's all possible, and we help get your concerns addressed, your questions answered, and profile all those of you doing interesting and innovative work all there. Remember that if it matters to you, it matters to us. Let's turn our focus to an initiative by young entrepreneurs. Social Cops is what they call it, and as the name suggests, it allows you to take matters in your own hands, take charge of your surroundings and yourself. The next time you see dangerous overhanging wires or an open pothole, broken road or pavement, well, grab your phone, take a picture and send it to them. They will help you have it fixed. Kriti Mathur has their story.
An open pothole, broken roads, overhanging wires and more. These are sights we see every day around us. But if you've wondered how to solve these issues, look no further. Here is Social Cops, a platform that makes reporting of local problems simple and within reach. If you have a pothole that you drive by every day and you want it fixed, Social Cops has a way. All you need to do is take a photograph of the pothole and your phone takes your GPS location, and you send this to the Social Cops database. They collect the reports and data and send it to the necessary authorities. But what are the odds that your municipal body will act?
One of the most important campaigns that was like a very successful campaign was I Lead Ranchi campaign that was run by the I Lead Ranchi team in Ranchi. So they were basically focusing on broken streetlights. So there were 4 just college kids, went out in the streets, found all the broken streetlights in the city, aggregated the data and sent it to the mayor of the city. And finally, the mayor of the city allocated resources, that is 2.15 crores of resources just to fix those broken streetlights. So that was a way where aggregated data about where exactly the issues are in the city, helped the city transform and gave them better streetlights and provided light in their lives basically.
With people's participation being the buzzword these days, it's not surprising that platforms like this are banking on active citizens to bring about change.
So the interesting thing about data and crowdsourced data that comes from citizens is that, especially in developing economies, it becomes a very important resource to understand how processes are running and to make processes run better, because there are citizens everywhere and there are 980 million mobile phones across the country. How can we make these citizens ensure and monitor these processes? So I'll give you an example of what we did in sanitation. So if you look at how sanitation, garbage collection works, it's something that's outsourced to third-party service providers. We use citizen data to actually run social audits on reports that come in from these third-party service providers, which led to an almost 3-fold increase in the efficiency of garbage collection.
For Varun and Prukalpa, the idea of Social Cops came on a long journey. A journey which had them seeing India's civic challenges and where we were failing in tackling some of the most basic issues.
So we were final year students in Singapore back like about a year and a half ago, and it was at the same time that I think India saw a lot of people getting involved in the change process. There was a lot of citizens coming out, but what we realized was that none of this citizen noise was actually getting translated into change. There was no real impact being created on ground, and we believe that citizen voice is something that is a powerful resource that can be used to actually create better processes. Simple technology can transform lives, and that became probably one of the things that was a trigger for getting into Social Cops as something that was not a project but something that we wanted to do as a company and a sustainable business. Simple problems like uncollected garbage, potholes, these were things that we thought could easily be solved, but why weren't they getting solved? We took a train trip around India. It's called Jagriti Yatra last December. We traveled around the whole country, spoke to citizen groups, spoke to non-governmental organizations. One of the things that we understood was that across the country in small pockets, there are groups of citizen groups, non-governmental organizations, public agencies that are doing a great job. What they lack is an enabling mechanism that allows them to harness the power of citizen voices in their community effectively.
But while people may be keen on participation in politics, will civic issues see similar participation? What can make India a better place?
if you look at public workers, Safai Karamcharis, they don't actually have any performance-based incentives in the system. The ones who are doing a good job could be working for 20 years and nobody would even give them a second look. What we started doing was we started crowdsourcing citizen ratings and how clean streets were. And we matched them off to who are the Safai Karamcharis or the street cleaners who are working in that area. Now, what happened because of that was that these Safai Karamcharis started getting incentives to do a better job. I think one of the interesting things that happened for us, and I think it was very powerful for us, was because a Safai Karamchari came to us and said that for the past 20 years I've been working here and nobody has looked at me twice. But for the first time, you've made my son proud of me, because I was ashamed to tell him what I did for the last 20 years before this.
Social Corps works with corporates, public agencies, NGOs, and communities to drive change at the local level. And they have had some successful campaigns to their credit.
Every community, every person has different issues that they're passionate about. Now, this could range from issues like civic issues, sanitation, it could be something more complex like women's safety. The concept of social corps is to empower these people through three things. One is, how can they harness citizen voice? How can they use citizen voice as something that gives us information that helps us make better decisions? Two, how do you engage these communities? How do you use things like real-time alerts that go out to them, gamification, to make these processes run better in communities?
We started a small blog called Sweksha, which is just a portal of NGOs. And one of the readers in US just donated some amount of money just by reading an article. So we thought how a simple blog post could help and impact lives of people. So that was some of the trigger points, and then we thought, let's go down on the ground and understand how these processes work.
Converting citizen voice into something tangible with real results can have its own challenges. But as Social Corps has proved, yes, we can. All it takes is everyone's involvement and a desire to see a cleaner and better India. In New Delhi, with Sanjay Das, this is Kriti Mathur for NDTV.
Cleaner and better India. Well, most of us, of course, will be backing that with all our heart. But Prakalpa Shankar, co-founder of Social Corps, is with us. Thanks very much for coming in, Prakalpa. So you're also sort of giving the Aam Aadmi a voice in a different way, really.
I think the focus for us has really been that we believe that this Aam Aadmi's voice is incredibly strong. It helps us make decisions across segments. Every time a national level decision across anything, be it education, public health, civic, it needs the Aam Aadmi's voice. For us, the focus has been how can we use technology to make this Aam Aadmi's voice heard in a way that better decisions can be made.
Right. And it has achieved results. For instance, we just heard in that report, Ranchi was, of course, one big place where you had big success. You, I would imagine, hoping to replicate that across India. But
Definitely.
What really are the two biggest challenges?
I think some of the biggest challenges for us at this point has been we're looking to build our team, get some great people on board. So that's definitely one of the things. And, I think for me personally, like this has been probably one of the best learning experiences that's ever been. So I think challenges will always be many in terms of just how can you create a sustainable model out of this? How can you ensure that you're doing the right thing? We're still a small team. So yeah, it's been a very interesting experience. We've been learning a lot. There's been a roller coaster. So I wouldn't say there's been really one big challenge, but I think it's just been every day has been like a challenge. And
challenge in itself, really, yes. I think that most of us would actually identify with that. And it's quite interesting that the idea, sort of the awakening, maybe in a sense, or sort of your realization that there is a great need for something like this came on a sort of Bharat Darshan or a train journey across India. Tell us a bit more about that.
So I think we'd been thinking about all these problems around us, right? So starting from simple civic issues to, things that get a little more complicated, we were kind of thinking about all these problems and they were always at the back of our head. And last December, we decided to take a train trip around India. We were visiting social entrepreneurs in the grassroots. And I think the interesting thing for us that came out of Jagriti Yatra was on one hand, we realized that there was a lot of will on the side of citizens. On the other hand, we met non-governmental organizations, we met public agencies, trying to understand what was it that would make a community come together and how can you empower them in better ways.
Sorry, I just need to interrupt you there. So would it be fair to say that you're trying to sort of bridge the gap that seems to be there between what the Aam Aadmi wants and the agencies who then have to deliver this, and you're sort of like trying to get them together and connect
I think
towards one common goal?
I think the large part, if you look at our community, is largely they're disconnected. So if you look at a community around something like, say, a community of pregnant women in the country versus, like, you know, if you look at the national level policy making organization, they make it based on a sample survey of 100 pregnant women, and there are 16 million pregnant women at any given point in time. On the other hand, a woman in a rural area, she doesn't actually get continuous access to information. This is something that's replicable across issues. If you look at traffic, if you look at education, if you look at sanitation, it's the same issue where there is a disconnect. We believe technology can empower both of these sides of the coin, because on one hand, every time we make decisions, we need better data on the as a stakeholder making that decision. On the other hand, as a citizen, I have a voice which I can make myself heard through these different technologies. So those are the, you know, that's kind of the problem that we're trying to fix, connecting this community, creating a synergistic community. So.
Thanks very much, Prakalpa, and all the very best. And if you have a story like that, if you know of someone or yourself are involved in any initiative, in any effort like that you'd like to profile, that you believe is making a difference, well, you remember you can always write in to us. Well, time now for a quick break. Coming up after that, course or college? Confronted by that dilemma, what do you choose and why? We'll get you the answers right after this break.